Hey guys and gals, well here we are at the farm again, and I've got my trusty Marlin Model 1894 out once again. And we're going to talk about in this video heavy or heavier and heavier still. And if you'll stick around just for a few minutes, I'll explain. Hi, George here, and welcome to Tales from Target Suite, where I'll share my perspective on guns and shooting, and we'll spend some time at the range, and every now and then we'll reconvene out in my shop back in Houston, or here at the farm in Louisiana, where I'll build some fun projects, and we'll share an adventure or two that'll make even a grown man smile. And yes, in today's video, we have got the 1894 out, 44 Magnum, wonderful little rifle. And I've got two different hand loads that we're gonna run through their paces today. And what's different about them, if you agree just for a moment that the 240 grain projectile is the traditional heavy projectile for the 44 Magnum, then what I've got today are two projectiles that are heavier and heavier still. And that would be a 260 grain hard cast bullet from Montana Bullet Works and a 300 grain projectile from Montana Bullet Works. And both of those, even though they're quite a bit longer than traditional rounds, will cycle in the Marlin model, in my Marlin Model 1894. But the first thing I want to do is to chronograph both of those loads, just so we have a relative idea of how fast they are. And so let's adjourn right over here to the chronograph, and I'll talk a little bit more about the bullets because they're kind of interesting. Okay, we've got two different bullets here from Montana Bullet Works. We've got the 260 grain wide flat nose gas check. It's an LBT style mold, and it is heat treated to a Burnell hardness of 22. And so that's even harder than the cast performance bullets we tested last week in the last video. Those were 18 to 21, so cast performance gave us a range, but these are actually heat treated to Burnell 22. And here's the other one we're going to test. That was the heavier, and this is the heavier still. This is the Montana Bullet Works 300 grain wide flat nose gas check bullet, also at 22 Burnell hardness. These are sized to .431, which is oversized for my Marlin. But there's the 300 grain bullet, and there is the 260 grain bullet. And so, like I said in the intro, if 240 grains is your normal a normal heavy bullet for the 44 Magnum, then these are even heavier still. And so I'm going to get loaded up, and we're going to shoot 3 each through the chronograph, and I will record those on camera. And so let's get shooting. I think these are the heavy ones. $17.02. $16.94. And so these are the heavier. So we had heavier and heavier still. These are the heavier still. 300 grain Montana Bullet Works hard cast bullets. 1553, 1553. $15.32. So there was the Marlin Model 1894 44 Magnum with those two different loads of Montana Bullet Works bullets. I'll put the numbers up here and you can check them out. But now we're going to set up the coupon test. and see what kind of deflection we get. If you'll remember from my brush caliber cartridge videos, the cast bullets performance in the 44 Magnum was atrocious. And so we're hoping that we're going to do better here with these heavier, harder, and much bigger Mepla bullets than what we shot in those other two videos. And so let's get set up with the coupons and see how they behave. Okay, I know a lot of you guys haven't watched the other videos where we did the coupon test, so I'll walk you through it real quick. Where I am right now is where we'll be shooting from, and then right here is where the coupons will be positioned, and then right down there is the target. So we're 20 yards to the coupons and another 20 yards to the target. And let me walk down there and I'll show you what the coupons look like so you have a good idea. And there they are. And so each coupon has got 3 of these smaller than finger-sized green, just cut them this afternoon or this morning, green sticks. Now, we're going to walk another 20 yards to the target, and I'll show you that. And so there's the target. We'll hang the target right there. So, now let's get back and do some shooting. Okay, we got away from the shooting bench just to do something a little bit different. But I'm going to try to still get a pretty good rest here so we can get some decent precision on the target and also on the coupons. So 3 shots. I'm going to establish a group and then we'll get the coupons out. Okay, that's usable. Let me go put a coupon up. Let's do some more shooting. Okay, so here's what we got. Now don't bail out because remember we've got the water jugs across there and the watermelon, and we're going to do some energy transfer testing and some penetration testing. But here's the 260 grain bullet. And I'm going to discount this one. I actually reshot this bullet because these were the first 2 right here, and then I shot this one. These were without coupons. And so this is my 3-shot group right here without coupon. Here's my 3-shot group with coupon. Center of group to center of group is about 2 inches. And so if you would like to have seen that this target 5 yards on the other side of the test coupon, then you can take that 2 inches and divide by 4, and you'll come up with a deflection that would have been about 1/2 inch. So that's just the math. And so a 1/2 inch deflection. Let's see, divided by 4. Yep, 1/2 inch deflection through those coupons. That's pretty darn good. Now here's the 300 grain bullet, and there's 1, 2, 3 shots without 3 shots. This is the original group without coupons, and these were with coupons. Center of group here and center of group are so close, and so you just can't see a whole lot of deflection there. And one thing I did was I wanted to shoot from a kneeling position, and so I'm wobbling, and it's not the ideal. But if you're in the woods and you're hunting, that's kind of going to be sort of what you run into. So so it wasn't as precise as when we were shooting from the bench up there, but I think it was more interesting, and I think the results still speak for themselves. So let's get over there on the other side of the pond, and we will get that watermelon in our sights, and we're going to see if the sun. I think the sun is still bright enough. We'll get some high speed video of the watermelon exploding. and we might actually be able to see the bullet penetrate into the water jugs. So we'll see, but let's get over there and get things set up, and we'll compare the 260 grain um, Montana Bullet Works bullet hard cast at 1700 feet per second, I think it was, and the 300 grain bullet at 1500 feet per second or so. And we'll be able to tell, hopefully, that there's an energy difference in the watermelon and a penetration difference, but who knows? We'll find out when we get over there. Let's go. Okay guys, here's our setup. I'm guessing the 44 Magnum is not going to penetrate quite as far. We've got 7 water jugs, 1 watermelon, and then down here we've got a couple of 2.5 gallon jugs there to maybe catch a stray right or left, and a bucket filled with sand. And so hopefully we'll catch the bullet if it goes all the way through. But in any case, there it is. And we're shooting from right back there. And I was about to forget to turn on my GoPro, so I'll go do that. Then we'll shoot this thing, and then we'll load up the fixture again with more jugs and watermelon, and we'll shoot the 300 grain, and we'll see what effect. You guys will probably be able to tell me which bullet had the most energy transfer in the watermelon and which bullet had the most penetration. Those are the 2 things that we're going to look for here. So let me go turn on the GoPro and we'll do some shooting. Okay, GoPro's running. I've got my ears in. I got my eyes on. And let's see what happens. Okay, we caught that bullet in the last water jug. Let me go get it and I'll show it to you. Well, there it is. It's very flat on the end. That Mepla is now larger than caliber, but it stayed true all the way through the watermelon and 6 of the 7 jugs. It actually dented the 7th jug and poked a tiny hole in it, but it stopped in the 6th jug. Well, if we learned anything from the 4570 cast bullet test, we learned that slower penetrates more and faster probably discharges more initial energy into the watermelon. And so with that said, that was our faster 260 grain bullet, and this is our slower 300 grain bullet. And so not only the additional mass, but also the slower speed should give us quite a bit more penetration. I don't know what quite a bit more is. Is it 1 water jug, or is it going to go all the way into the bucket filled with sand? But let's give her a try and see what comes of it. Well, let's go see. I didn't see the bullet, but we'll go check it out together. They're staying right on track. think it's in the 2.5 gallon jug. Oh yes, there it is, the 300 grain. Not nearly as much deformation, that's kind of what we expected, the slower speed, but it's still got a little bit larger nose on it now. Wow. Okay, so if you guys want to be catching 4570 or 44 Magnum slugs in water jugs, the hard cast large Meplat, I still want to say Meplat, the large Meplat bullets are going to keep you on track, and that's exactly what I believe Mr. Garrett said in one of his articles. And you can tell me in the comments what happened with the watermelons. I'll see you in the next video.